Hello and welcome to the Dad Strength Podcast. I am your host, Richie Leahey. We've been moving along with the ranking list for the essential items for dads. And with that, I've made some changes to the website. So I wanted to start off talking about that a little bit. Basically, Dad Strength was its own domain, and I still have the domain name. So if you go to dadstrength.us, like I said in my past couple of videos, it would have took you right to a blog that just had episode listing for the Dad Strength podcast. Well, I wanted to consolidate some of my content to make it easier for me to manage and to make it easier for listeners to find additional content that I produce. So I started to move over episodes and the write-ups and everything to the Leahey report. So the new URL is just my name, RichieLeahey.com, RichieLeahey.com. And under there, you can find the Dad Strength podcast. I'm building out a menu. Right now, I'm hosting on Blogger, and I had initially started to move into Medium.com. And then they had some issue with security stuff and getting certificates. And then I guess funding ran out or something, so they quit moving. So I only moved one of my sites there, Southbound Sports. So the Southbound Sports show and sports site has been moved to Medium. But for the rest of my content, it is going to stay on Blogger for now. The theme that I built for the site originally, that is currently under construction, and I am working on porting that into Blogger, but Blogger has some different template styles and things that I'm still figuring out to see. I think there might be an HTTPS issue, so if you see a thing that says it's not secure, that is not my content. That would be the Blogger header, which I'm not sure if they offer a secure version for their standard at the top. But I'm working on getting that situated, and I'm working on getting the content ported over. So right now, the site is set up like an actual old school blog on Blogger, where it's just straight posts, and everything can be found and navigated through tags. I have the posts built out with dates, and I'm working on adding in redirects so that the old URLs would still work, and I'm working on updating the podcast URLs. So I'm hoping to have that in place, but there's no real timetable because I have a lot of content to move. I have like 90 something posts from a couple different sites and shows, and I'm putting them all in one spot. That way it's easier for me to manage, like I said, and then that way I can kind of expand and do other things. Same with the YouTube channel. The Dad Strength videos have been moved over to my personal channel, Richie Leahey, same thing, RichieLeahey. You can find that on YouTube. If you search me, I am building out different sections. So you can have like a parenting videos, and then you can have tech videos and other things. So like I've been doing a lot of tech stuff, starting to get that in place. The Nintendo Switch is coming out today. And so with that, I'll be doing some unboxing videos and different things whenever mine arrives. And I've been doing a lot more tech and getting into some more schooling stuff. So I have a lot of technical papers that I wrote while in grad school and some other things that I've moved on there. So the site's pretty expansive, and I wanted it all in one place, like I said. And then I also have a research section that is going to be an extension of Southbound Sports. So that's available to anyone who's interested and just outside of the parenting scope. And so that's kind of where the show's going. And I have like another fantasy section as well. So the show is still building the same thing, a little bit about parenting. I'm still doing the videos. Those are posting. I'm working on other ones, trying to get those up and scheduled so that they will post. I think the ranking list is going to be changing a little bit to just essential items for new dads. And I believe that I'm going to cap it at maybe 30 items or so. I think that would bring us to 50 episodes or so for the podcast. And so that is the direction I'm trying to get to. So I think if we hit the 50 milestone, that'll be a good stop for the essential item list for ranking. different things, and then we can see what's going to happen after that. I might just go into some other things because my child's getting older, so we're actually putting away a lot of the things that I was going to put on the list. And so I'm going to try to get these recorded and scheduled and put up, and then I'll keep podcasting to go through just some general parent things. So a little bit more story-oriented and things like that. So if you're interested in the ranking list, I encourage you to go on. I'm still going to try to mention it once a week a little bit, but my daughter's getting quite old, and so I have different trials and tribulations and stuff that I have to deal with her. She's pretty advanced. She climbed up the monkey bars the other day, so it's pretty good. As a parent, you feel good because you think like, I did a lot of stuff right for her to be advanced, but then again, I also have to chase her around now even more. And she's getting sneaky. She'll move stuff around. And when she doesn't get her way, she'll start to pout. So a little bit early on the terrible twos, it seems. Apparently what people say when she's trying to find herself. So just trying to stay patient with that. And so the podcast will be continuing. Again, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to try to add in the things. I'm not sure the length. Probably just a quick check-in now. And followed by a breakdown of whatever item I added to the list. The list is going to be, like I said, up on YouTube, and I'm going to have a parenting section for that. I might do some additional things after the ranking list for parenting. I've been looking into breaking down like some of her toys so that you can see some things that are actually useful for parents, and then some things that are pretty much a waste. So I might start to throw those up too as well. But I'm working on getting all the content up in one site, because once I get all the content up in one site, then the podcast can go smoother. I can go ahead and do a little bit more of the video stuff and expand and just put more parenting stuff out there. So the videos will still be embedded in Blogger. Blogger's run by Google. Google also owns YouTube. So those will be right in there, trying to get some different pictures instead of just the same blog format where it was just one picture, the synopsis, and then a download button. So I'm trying to expand it. If you're in other things like tech, you can get that right straight from the Leahey Report as well, and maybe some other things that I'm talking about on my other podcast, Socially Numb. I also have putting up some programming tips, programming things that I use, and I'm going to probably get into a little bit of music. I've been doing some videos for some music stuff that I've recorded in the past, playing a little bit of guitar these days. So that's about it for checking on the show. The last couple weeks have been pretty standard. I chugged those out pretty well, so moving on a little bit more and hoping to continue to grow listeners. I know it's been pretty much a long intro here, but I just want to go ahead and say that the site is moving, so if you have been looking at it, I know I'm getting some redirects and stuff. Some of the HTTP stuff is kind of broken. I can say clear your cache, or if you're having trouble loading the redirect, just get rid of the HTTPS until I get that figured out, but I don't know if there's a timetable on it. I might just have to wait until Google re-indexes everything. I'm also looking into getting a store, so if you like our logo, some of the Dad Strength stuff, I'm going to be hopefully throwing that up as well. And then the last thing, like I said, more videos, probably on different toys that I have, breaking them down and just getting into them. I might start to throw those up pretty good. So look for those. Subscribe to me on there. SoundCloud, I got tired of their limit. I haven't really been uploading new episodes on there. I've thought about doing different things, but in all reality, I just don't think I'm going to host there anymore. There hasn't been any really interest of anyone that says that they use SoundCloud. Most people go there for music or other podcasts, maybe like comedy stuff. But parenting, I've got a few listens, a few messages, maybe like 5 people messaging me on there. But other than that, they said that they can listen elsewhere. So if you still listen on there, let me know. But other than that, I don't see a reason to keep it. That's why it hasn't been updated. The show is still going strong, though. So check it out. The last but not least, the new item on our list is Rattlers. And those are the toys that you shake and they make sound. It's very good for building like hand-eye coordination when your child can't grip things or like pick things up. It's something that they can go ahead and focus on, shake it around, make some noise. They can hold it with 2 hands, try to clutch it. It will keep their attention. At early ages, they really don't have anything that can hold their attention. Their attention spans are real quick. They're moving from one thing to the next, jumping back and forth, back and forth. And if they don't get that, they'll cry, or they'll keep looking, trying to observe their world, take things in. And so a rattler is the first thing that they can really spend time with as they're starting to mature a little bit and get their senses. It's a toy that they can go ahead and manipulate. They find out that it makes sound, and they'll want to go ahead and shake it and play around with it. And now there's all kind of different ones. Our daughter loved a cloth one. It was like a cloth little thing. There's like a little piece to the bottom too, but it was really squishy. So it's an elephant. If you look at the video, you can see it. But it was pretty small. She could hold it with two hands, and then she started slowly to learn how to grip with one hand at a time. And because it was soft and pliable, she was able to go ahead and dig in and really get a good grip and shake it pretty hard to make a lot of noise. And then she would learn that if she shook it slower, then it would make less noise, and vice versa. And that is one of the items that I recommend having on hand. The downside to it is that it does get annoying. And with that, it's just because of the noise. So if you have some of them are really, really loud. So test them out at the store. If you're buying them online, it's kind of like a whatever luck you have. Hopefully you'll get a good one. Maybe you won't. But you can shake them, hear the sounds, and try to find one that's not as loud, a little bit subdued. The elephant that we had was soft, like I said, so the plastic inside was kind of malleable, so it wasn't as loud as it could have been, which thankfully worked for us, because after a while they do get quite annoying. If you're good enough at it, you can start to block them out. So that's something that I tried to do. Just tone out that frequency of sound, and then you're good to go. But that's the next item on our ranking list of essential items for dads. That I think is embedded in the Leahey report. If you go to the Dad Strength tab, which might not even be a tab yet, but if you go to dadstrength.us, it should redirect you there. If it says that it's not secured or something, take the HTTPS off. I'm hoping that we can get that indexed soon, so that the redirect's in place. I just don't know if there's a way that I can redirect the HTTPS. I am checking into it. If I get that figured out, then it's no big deal. So update your bookmarks. Subscribe to us on RSS. I'm hoping that I can kind of pick and choose, if you're only interested in the parenting one, that I can find a feed for only certain labels. And I'm looking into that. And if I get that figured out, then that will be up there as well, because I know that that's something that people would be interested in, only having to subscribe to one or two feeds, one or two labels. And so I'm checking that on Blogger. I'll try to make sure that I add that in as an option if it is possible. So that's it for this week. Thank you for listening. Tell your friends. If you have any ideas or feedbacks, leave a comment on Blogger or reach out to me. You can get me at contact@RichieLeahey.com and follow me at Twitter on Richie Leahey. And if you're into sports, check me out on Medium. Starting to get built up. I'm a little bit behind on both sites, the Leahey Report and Southbound Sports. So I'm trying to get all of the content pushed in and updated. Some of them are just placeholders for now until I can re-edit the content, because it was written for different sites with different layouts. And like some of them, like I had little heading sections for some of the episodes I could break down. And Medium is more of one that's just free-flowing. Same with Blogger. And that's where I can throw in other images and things. But check us out. Thank you for listening. You've been listening to Dad Strength with Richie Leahey.